For the past few weeks, Lindsey Boetsch has been giving us gardening tips.
Yeah, she continues making her thumb green this morning.
She likes to give thumbs up. How is that green thumb going this morning, Lindsey?
Still kind of white.
Still kind of white.
Still working on it, but we're going to learn a lot this morning about herbs. And Kate Daniels joins me now, and she has this awesome garden here at Finer Gardens. You have a lot of herbs. Why is it that you decided to go the herb route?
I'm really interested in flavor, so my little tagline is "We farm flavor." And herbs will add flavor to food without adding fat or salt, so it's more healthy.
Is there a difference in gardening vegetables as opposed to herbs?
I think herbs are easier, though I've had many people tell me that it's very difficult for them to raise herbs. Some herbs are perennial. It'll just depend on the herb, and many of them are annual, so you can get a lot of different varieties. Plus, it also takes less space because herbs are packed with flavor, so you don't really need that much.
And you have 12 raised beds here. Explain a little bit about what you have growing here, how you got them, and all of that.
Well, most of these plants I raised myself in a greenhouse that I have a little bit away, but I have, let's see, I have Genovese basil here, I have some Thai basil, lemon basil, and then I have a new bed over there that I put together, which is a lemon herb. So I have lemon verbena, which is the first time I've grown that, so this will be very interesting. Lime basil, and then I'll have some lemon basil and lemon thyme.
So you start them in a greenhouse and then bring them out here?
Yeah, most of them, especially the annuals, I'll start in the greenhouse and then I'll bring them out here.
And how long have you been working on this garden?
About 3 years, I would say. So, I mean, you know, as gardeners, we always change things up and we like to do things differently. And so every year I have some annuals that I like to plant, and then I have perennials that'll come up every year. So then I don't have to work so hard on those.
How did you get started in gardening?
My grandmother started me in gardening. She had a heart attack like in the mid-'80s, and I went up to take care of her, and that lady just, you know, she went, okay, let's go, we're going to go out and start in the garden, and it was a really calm and peaceful time for me to be with her and get to know her. So that's really what got me into gardening.
Now, for people who are maybe starting herb gardens, what is one tip that you would give them?
Just keep trying. If something fails, just keep trying. Herbs are typically Mediterranean, so they don't mind being dry. So maybe overwatering might be a common mistake, but you know, just keep trying. Try different things. I've had these Genovese basil plants, and they were small, and I cut them. You know, I gave them a little haircut, and I thought, well, I've killed them for sure. And no, they were like, oh, great. They got even bigger. So they really, herbs really take to being, you know, clipped just a little bit here, a little bit there. You know, you don't want to do too severe, but they really take to that.
And you have one vegetable, and that's the tomato. Yes. And we're going to talk a little bit about that here coming up in the next half hour.
Well, they don't seem to be too affected by it, but I wonder if the horses feel a little teased that they're so close to those herbs.
All those smells
and
walking over
I
those
bet
poor
they
horses.
do. They were a little hungry earlier. They're munching on the ground now. There's a sheep over there too. Also, there are some alpacas and a llama that they came a little bit closer, and then they got a little camera shy.
They tend to do that. This morning,
and there's us. Hello.
by the way, is a farmer's market in Quincy on Tuesday, so don't forget, in Washington Square.
Lindsey is live this morning with a gardener, though, who has some great tomato tricks. Good morning, Lynn.
I think she found the gardener at the farmer's market.
I did not, actually. I will thank Carol Sowers, but she does have, she will be bringing some herbs to the farmer's market, which is today, 7 to 1, 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. And there's a little llama over there. I just looked over right before we started. He was glaring at me. I wouldn't say little, actually. He's kind of big, but he was staring at me. He knows what's going on out here, and he's having no part of it at all. But yes, we are talking about tomatoes, and we're actually going to be pruning a tomato plant here. It's also called suckering, and Kate Daniels has our plant with us here.
Okay, this is an indeterminate tomato, and studies have shown that pruning will help with indeterminate tomatoes, but not determinate tomatoes. So what you do is you take a look at the first flower cluster, you go down to the V here. This was the original leaf, and this is a sucker. So you'll have 2 leaders like this. So down here, though, you want to remove these. Just with your fingers, you can remove them, and that will help the plant put more energy into the tomatoes.
Can you pull away too much?
Yeah, you do want to leave some of this, but like this leaf you will leave, but the sucker in here is what you pull out.
Oh, and what will that do for the tomato?
It will make them larger, more prolific, so you'll have more tomatoes instead of having a bunch of smaller ones, and it'll give you a larger quantity.
Wow, very interesting. And here we have a raised bed that you can do a Florida weave with, and explain a little bit about what that is.
Well, a Florida weave is an economical way to basically trellis or support your tomato plants. Because when you get big tomatoes on there, because you've suckered it real nice, it'll weigh down the plant, it'll bend the stalk, and then, so the tomatoes have to be trellised in some way or supported. So what you do is you come up about 6 inches and you tie a string around this post, and then you go and you weave in between the tomatoes. Wrap it around again, and then you weave opposite, and then you come back here. Then you come back as the tomato plant grows, and you go up about another 6 inches. So about every 6 inches you'll have a weave, and it'll support the tomato.
Any other plants or tips rather if you're planting tomatoes this season?
Well, no, they like water, really good water, and keep down the weeds.
Okay.
What I do is I collect leaves from the fall, and I kind of store them. There's my nice little pile over there. But I kind of store them. What you do is you put it down, after you've put in your plants, you put down a bed of leaves, and that helps keep the weeds down very nicely. And then also the leaves will decompose and become compost and begin feeding the plants. So they'll feed the tomatoes as well as providing protection for weeds.
Awesome. Great tips if you're planning on planting tomatoes this season. Also, again, the farmers market is this morning from 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. down in Washington Park. And like I said, we have some animals over there. We're going to see if we can get them to come over here for our next segment. And we're also going to talk a little bit about cooking with herbs next.
It's going to be a riveting interview. I can't wait.
We'll get out there
I
today
know.
for the farmers market too, because it's gorgeous weather.
Lindsey Boetsch is out this morning talking gardens, but she's found a new love.
Love
Animals.
for an alpaca.
Good morning.
Yeah. Good morning, guys. Yeah, they're really cute. And I haven't been spit on yet by the llama. He's kind of sitting down over there. They're really neat animals, actually. Here comes one. You want to come over here? Come here. They're kind of shy. They were hiding in the corner over there when we were out here in the dark. We had just the light on, and they didn't really like that. But now here they come. They've been around us all morning. They're all males, and there's 2 horses, and then there's a sheep, and I believe the sheep is a female sheep. Yes. Okay. And Kate Daniels, you own all of these animals. Right. How do you take care of them? What goes into that?
Well, not a lot really, and especially in the summer. In the winter we have to throw out some bales of hay for them and make sure that they have fresh, clean water. But other than that, basically they just eat hay and grass during the summer. So they help keep the pasture down.
And they're kind of like sheep in a way that you have to shear them.
The alpacas, yes. Yeah, I'm not actually really sure about the llama because we just kind of recently got these animals, but the alpaca fur is really, or wool I guess you'd say, is really liked by knitters, and you can make it into felt and different things like that.
Do they have any benefits on the pasture?
Well, they help keep the pasture down so that it doesn't get all weedy and really high in, more weedy, more bugs.
And you have, speaking of bugs, you have a chicken in your arms, and they actually bugs, chickens, but they do play a role in keeping bugs down in the garden.
Yes, they do. I really like having chickens because they eat a lot of bugs. And this winter was really mild, so we're really expecting that this summer is going to be kind of buggy. So I have a number of chickens. We have a couple of ducks, a couple of geese, and a couple of turkeys. But these chicks will eat an awful lot of bugs. They'll eat all kinds of bugs. They'll eat like those big kind of cockroachy kind of looking bugs, and but they also eat ticks and a lot of different bugs. So I will let them roam in and out of my herbs, and they will scratch, and they'll eat bugs, and it just really is beneficial for the plants once the plants get big enough. Yeah.
Now, do you have any worries about them eating the plants or eating the herbs?
No, I think they don't like the taste. So as far as I can tell, because they have awful strong flavors, as far as I can tell, I haven't had any problems with that. They'll go underneath, especially like in my basil, they'll go underneath, they scratch, and it just they really do a nice job of keeping it clear of bugs.
Speaking of taste, that's what you are going for. You want to flavor people's food without adding, salts or fats, and that's kind of how you got into raising all of these gardens.
Right, yeah. Right, and I have a few recipes that I really like making. Basil pesto is one of the things I like making an awful lot. Use a couple cups of basil. I might forget an ingredient here or two, but pine nuts, or you can use walnuts because pine nuts can be awfully expensive. A little bit of olive oil, Parmesan cheese, garlic. I like to put in a little bit of lemon juice that helps retain the flavor or the color of the basil, because once it's exposed to air and it's ground up, it can often turn dark color. But a little lemon juice will keep that from happening.
Well, I have an idea. How about you give me those recipes, and then I will pass them on. I'll put them on our website so that you guys can have them as well. It really sounds really good.
It's delicious. Yeah, very fresh, very summer.
All right. Thank you very much for having us out here on the farm this morning.
All right. Very nice. I always learn stuff when Lindsey's around.
I know, I just love it. She always has some good things coming up.